Let's do a walkthrough of the Braider software. This is the main page that you will come to. It's the home screen. Here you can load different products. You can adjust the speed of this is the Braider speed, anywhere from 0 to 100%. 100% is also 300 RPM. So at 50, that'd be 150 RPM to those of you who use those numbers. You can adjust the machine speed either by dragging this or putting a number here. Jog speed. This is how fast the machine will jog when you press the jog button. You can go up to a maximum of 40%. I usually like to run at about 20 to 25. And finally, the product take-up speed. This is the speed of the take-up motor. It is generally okay just to leave it at this number. Rarely will you ever have to adjust this. Okay. Now the software itself has 3 different modes. Currently I'm in a non-logged in mode, which means I'm still able to load a product and to run the machine. The other 2 IDs, which are found under login, are lowercase admin and uppercase admin. Those are the 2 we can use. The one that has triple B, that's proprietary and never used. The admin, the lowercase, will give you access to all of the different features of the software. So I'll log in this. The 2 main features that this opens up for you are a service menu, where I can turn off and on safety features of the machine. I can change the maximum PPI that I want to run on my braider. And also, I can create recipes. Step through a typical setup for a braiding. Say I'm going to do a regular recipe. I go into my functions menu and disable segmented braiding. You can see now I've got a different list of products that I can select. To create the product, simply go to Settings, Recipe Management, Add a Recipe. Click the top of the list and it'll prompt you for a name. I call this one 100 PPI. Now I select that recipe. Oops, I lied. Let's go ahead and press Next. Change my PPI to 100. Once I put in my PPI, I click Save, Enter, Back, Save, Enter, Back. Now from my home screen, I can select that recipe. And now you will see we've got a 100 PPI recipe loaded. Currently I'm using a full braid pattern. We have 3 patterns available to us. Those are selectable in your settings. Braid pattern. See, I can select from full, half load, or a diamond pattern. There's a half load. Then you can see my braid pattern on my home screen is half load. Some of the other, take you through the menuing system. Here's your functions. I can turn off and on my machine light. I can enable a production counter. That's set in my statistics menu under production counter by how many feet I would like my product to run before the machine stops. That's where that's set. That's what that means. Jog product take up forward. While holding and pressing this button, it will turn the take up motor just as long as that button's held down. And this is where you can enable or disable segmented braiding. The next settings menu, it's got the recipe management that we just stepped through. My bobbin winder, I can set the length of wire I want to put on my bobbin. I can set the speed I want the winder itself to run and a traversing arm. I typically set this in about 30 to get perfect wraps on my bobbins. Braid pattern, we already visited. Reserved, this will change if I'm running the segmented recipe. We'll come back to that. Service menu, again, you can only access this if you're logged in with the lowercase admin. If I'm logged in with the uppercase admin, I cannot access this menu. Again, it's primarily for turning on and off different safety features of the machine. This easy access is not used at this point, that we may enable this feature in the future. Input-output check. This is an aid for troubleshooting. You have the schematics of the machine available. Different ones of these will light up, and they correspond to spots on the schematic yourself that will help to diagnose electrical problems. And languages. We have 2 different languages currently. I could change to Spanish simply with a click of a button. We do also have Japanese available. Okay, so that's kind of an overview of those. Last menu is a statistic. Shows me what alarm history I may have had. My production counter that I briefly touched on earlier. Be able to reset the counter here if you so desire. Hour meter. This is important for PM on the machine. Every 8 machine hours, we want to pump our grease gun 5 times. This is only for the amount of time the machine actually runs. This is not how long it's powered on. So that's where you find that number. And this is reserved at the moment. Last settings is just any current alarms that are on. This is where they're displayed. Now I mentioned that this reserved button changes. That's based if I select, this is a regular recipe, if I want to do segmented recipes. If I click that and I go to this next page, now you see there's another selection for segmented braiding. This toggles on and off whether or not I want to pause between each segment as I'm braiding. Sometimes you might want to perform an operation in between braid segments, then you would enable this to yes. And when I went back and ran my product, for example, the first segment runs 2 inches with 50 ppi. After 2 inches, the machine would pause. I would have to press my start button again to start the second segment, and so on. If you disable that, say no, then when I press start, it'll run through all the segments for which I have data. So for example, this menu would run through 5 different segments before it stopped. If for whatever reason you're partway through the number of segments, say at segment number 3 and I broke a wire, you fix your wire, and you'd want to click this button, reset segment braid, so it would start back at the beginning. That is a quick overview of the system. Thank you for watching.